Hello everyone, Phoenix61 here with your Legends shenanigans for the evening. Today, we are in the Blue Archive Tirpitz, I like to call it the badass Tirpitz, right? But anyway, so this will be a returning collaboration, right? This is coming back this year, starting August 11th, so it'll be the next week, right? And so I was playing around with it. I do play this ship quite a bit just because it's a tier 7 premium, and I tend to play a lot of my tier 7 premiums just for credit grinding, right? But right off the bat here, we're going to come around this corner and we are going full brawl mode here. We have a mines and then a Talon comes around the corner here as well. So we're in a little bit of a 2-on-1 situation here trying to pick on these guys. Both of them have torpedoes that we need to be concerned about, right? So it's kind of why I slammed on the brakes here and then, excuse me, turned in. Talon's torpedoes, I believe, are like super short range, but either way, we're really close to them, right? We just barely missed this mines, and at this range, we're going to get over pens with the main battery, but here come his torpedoes, right? So this is going to take a hefty chunk of our health away, but we'll damage Con the Flood, obviously, and trip one of the heals. We still have quite a bit of health left here, right? And I'm like, all right, we need to get rid of, let's at least make sure we kill somebody here. So we'll send the torps at the mine since that's a little more guaranteed. Talon would have a little bit of time to try and dodge. Plus, he would spot those torpedoes right away because that mines would have spotted him right away. So we do get the devastating strike here. And then sure enough, here come Talon torpedoes. But we had already, right, the trick to dodging torpedoes is to start dodging them before you see them. We had already slammed on the brakes to slow down with that anticipation, right? So we should be able to finish off this Talon, who's going to do a little bit of trickle damage to us here with his AP shells on our side, right? He got a good chunk out of us there. And then again, we're struggling a little bit just because we're getting a lot of overpens with the AP shells. We could have switched to HE, but hindsight's 2020. And then we have a Italian battleship coming around the corner here as well. But we've basically consumed, right? I like to say, especially as a battleship, your health pool is a resource, and we've basically consumed all of it thus far here. So decent guess with the torpedoes, but those do look like they're going to fall behind him. And we're going to point in towards him, right? I know that, and he's going to shoot at our bow and get, like, pretty much nothing, right? So he's got a lot of bounces, right? And then he's angled good for us, so if I fire just the, we need a little bit lower there, but we do get a Citadel penetration there, right? So it's just a matter of, we're going to have to wait for these front guns, because if we turn too much to get the back guns off, he's going to have a good shot at us, and we're so low on health here, right? So we're trying to do the same thing, right? We got a good penetration with those front turrets. We'll wait on. I'm trying to give a little angle so that some of my secondaries can shoot at him. And then I'm going to hit the brakes here so we don't ram into him on accident. We're going to shoot right under those front turrets and get Citadel hits there and take him out. Now we've got damn near no health left, but 4 ships down on the enemy team here. 3 of them accredited to us. I think we took care of our flank. We did our job here, right? So we're fast forwarding right now. I was actually slow playing this just to try and get like another heal back, right? So I was just trying to be conservative, stay out of sight, let my team do, we were a little too quick on this side, right? With taking care of our flank, right? And I think we had that York on my team. I don't know why he's so low on health, but he wasn't moving in the beginning of the game either. But there comes our health back, or our heal back. So now we have a decent amount of health to play with here, right? We were down to like a couple thousand, I think, or something. And then I'll let this Bortos go first so he can maybe draw some fire off this Bismarck here, right? But I'm going to just keep pushing up. We've got the game won, so that's why we're in fast forward. We get a little bit of trinkle, a little bit of damage here and there on these guys, but not much, so it's nothing entertaining. And we'll go into another game after this one, and then I'll go through the commander build. We are using the Blue Archive Commander, which I can't pronounce, that is sort of meant to be paired with the BA Tirpitz. And so we'll show that build as well, right? So it should be available, the following week after we post this video when this collaboration comes back. But yeah, no Nami, I think it is, right? But yeah, we do get top spot on the leaderboard there, 2900 XP with the 3 kills and the zone capture there. And then we're jumping ahead a little bit into this game. If you keep an eye on the mini-map here, a lot of my team has kind of, they end up believing me, right? Like, I think we've got 1 destroyer over here, and then the other folks kind of seem to gravitate towards the middle spawn, and so I've got these 3 battleships, plus I think 2 destroyers, on the enemy team that are on this flank. So that's why I'm kind of in a defensive kiting away position right now, because I know that these destroyers, there's at least one, I think two, end up being nearby here that we just have to deal with, right? So I know I'm outgunned, right? I'm outnumbered out there, right? There's 3 very healthy battleships plus the 2 destroyers, so I'm angled away so that I can floor it and run if I need to, right? I'm not trying to play the balanced game of trying to keep somebody within secondary range. This Wisconsin's just barely within range here. We have 11 kilometers built into this for secondaries. Bismarck was a little bit better angled for us, so it's going to take the main battery shot at him. But I know I'm spotted no matter what here, so it doesn't matter. We'll shoot our main guns. Yeah, so we do have 2 destroyers on my team over here. I think they end up ditching me, and I don't really know why. I don't know if they just get spooked because they don't want to deal with the enemy destroyers, but then you're leaving your battleship. So we're gonna pay attention to that here. So just keep an eye on the mini-map here. Bismarck's giving up a little bit of angle for us, so we'll use the rear turrets on him. Gotta watch out for these Wisconsins, right? They got a lot of guns, and that reload booster can be pretty brutal too. We're chipping away at this closer one with the secondaries, which is nice. Up to 77,000 damage this game. We'll use main battery on the Bismarck again. Probably could have shot this Wisconsin that's closer, just try and get him off the board. Right, there we go. Airplane spot a destroyer. I don't know why my carrier is flying over top of 3 battleships with his planes, but you do you. 3 battleships and, yeah, 2 destroyers. So 2 enemy destroyers. We can see where they were last located on the mini-map. Just over there by C, by the Charlie Cap. So we're just playing cautious here. Do get a little bit of a break and go undetected here. Still no kills in this game. Nobody's died yet on either team. So we still have to be kind of defensive, right? So if I would have sailed up, right, if it would have been aggressive like we were the last game, excuse me, and sailed into these guys, right, we'd have been done. We would have got torped by destroyers, plus 3 battleships would have focused fire on us. Like, we would have been the first one out, right? So each team loses a battleship there. That's fine. We'll take the shot at the Kagaru. Any damage against the destroyer is always a welcome sight. We get a whole lot of nothing out of him. That's fine. And we're dealing with the carrier over here on this side as well, the enemy carrier. Right, so you can tell we're detected, so we know that these enemy destroyers are moving up. Which would make total sense, right? Move up, spot ships, but both, like, I think everybody on my team ditches me at this point. And we've still got this Wisconsin, this battleship, or this Wisconsin, this, I think it's a Bismarck, just north of C, just north of Charlie Cap, plus 2 destroyers here. So I was really confused why everyone was kind of ditching the flank. Yep, there's torpedoes. And then, yeah, so here's my destroyer dropping smoke, which means he probably got spotted by the enemy destroyer, right? He probably didn't have as good a concealment as the enemy destroyer, so he got spotted and didn't spot the enemy destroyer. But then he's leaving it, right? So he's still running away with this smoke. So he's basically dropping the smoke screen for the enemy here at this point. So I'm going to just carpet, we're going to carpet this area with torpedoes. We do have decent, I think 9-kilometer range torpedoes on this, which I love these. And pretty quick reload. And I feel like, you know, with a lot of German, right, a lot of the German battleships that have torpedoes, the torpedo tubes get destroyed all the time. I don't feel like that's the case. It's just my perception, right, that they don't get destroyed as much on the BA Tirpitz. But yeah, I'm like kind of assuming that the enemy destroyer, at least one of them, is probably hanging out in that smoke screen. They do, you will see, I think the Delta Cap starts getting captured here soon. But yeah, Bismarck's hanging out in the back. We can't quite reach him with the main batteries, right? We've built in the secondaries, so the main guns don't have the greatest of range on this thing with the way we've got it laid out. And then we're still spotted, right? So I keep changing my movements. You notice I'm not just kind of sailing in one direction or sitting in one spot. We were moving backwards before. Now we're going forward. There's Lucian. Yep. And then Delta's getting captured. D-Zone is getting capped now. I'll take the shot at the solution, right? I'm trying. We need to get destroyers gone, right? Like that's what's gonna turn the tables on this game. Oh, I shouldn't say that. We are technically winning, I guess. Right, but it just didn't feel like it on this side, right? So my two destroyers that were over here, like they've ditched me and left me, you know, on destroyer duty as a battleship over here to try and find this guy and deal with this zone getting capped. My other option is just run away and let them have the zones, right? So I'm turning left here because I can see on the mini-map the torpedo bombers are coming in. And that's going to allow me to get the torpedoes off on the starboard side too here. And I end up like just turning too much, right? I didn't realize I basically turned into it. Shoot at the Bismarck since we can. And then I'm gonna try and turn back in towards D. There's Kagaru again. And then, yep, so the black is what's over here, and he takes out our destroyer. So now, and then our battleship goes down too, right? So now I am alone on this flank, and there's two enemy, you know, two red zones now on this side. So we'll see what we can do about this one, right? We're changing direction here as much as we can. We're gonna get bombed by the carrier. We're gonna get picked on by the carrier. Zone's still contested, so he hasn't left the zone, so I know he's still close by. Bismarck takes a shot at us. Hopefully he keeps moving here, because then if he gets within range of secondaries, we can actually do a little bit of work here. There's Kagaru again. Teasing us. I'm not sure how he's getting spotted. He must have fired his guns at something. Right, we'll trip secondary booster here. And then we turned in and stopped, right? I was kind of thinking the black's probably out in front of us right now. And then he does leave the zone here, right? So we're now getting the cap, but we're not going to be able to actually capture it with this Bismarck hitting us with the secondaries. Right, we just need to play for survival at this point until my teammates from the other side can come this way and help us. So we're backing up, hopefully dodging torpedoes, right? I have no idea where they are or where they could be, but we're changing course. Whittling away at this Bismarck. Perfect. There's the black. He gets spotted. Yeah, he must be firing at us just to try and reset the cap. Just fine. I'm trying to prioritize the excuse me, secondaries. Here come torpedoes, probably from the Kagaru. And we're not worried about staying in the zone. They're going to keep resetting it, so there's no point in us staying in the zone. We're going to keep taking hits, and it's going to keep getting reset. But now we're up on points pretty significantly here. We're going to start moving forward. And we do get the black with a secondary hit there. And that's going to put us over the top on points, so we'll win on points for this game. So we'll take a look at the leaderboard for this one, and I'll go through the commander build as well. So 142,000 damage, 2 kills on that one, 2,300 XP, not quite as good as the other one. And quite a bit of credits that we'll walk away with, too. So yeah, this was after the Wisconsin campaign, so we're way ahead. Earning our steel here. Right, this is full-blown secondary build. I do have propulsion mod. You could go steering gears there. Then concealment here. And then I do have a legendary mod here for secondary battery reload. and damage. And then, yeah, this Nonami, right? So she's a blue archive commander, and then we're using Franz von Hipper. He's free to play. He's the inspiration. And then Haruna as well. If you don't have Haruna, like, you know, you do you there. You can build into AP Shell. You could build into whatever you're comfortable with, right? But Porcupine is a must. She has this punishment time perk, which gives you an extra secondary charge. And then I like to use Properly Meticulous. I know some folks like the Master Mechanic for the extra heals, but I like Properly Meticulous. And then they've got the secondary interest legendary skill as well that we're using for her also, right? So like I said, this collaboration is coming back. I believe the ship and commander, as well as all the other previous, already existing ones, as well as some new ones also. So keep an eye out for that. Like I said, I don't think it's worth buying the ship outright, right? They're going to sell the ship for probably like 17,000 doubloons, something obnoxious. I wouldn't do that. I would, if you get her from a crate, that's what makes it worth it. But thanks again, guys. We'll see you tomorrow. Till next time.